With omnipotent ease, simply by willing what he had thought upon, God created all things out of nothingness. Compared with him, the star-laden universe is no more spectacular than a kicked-up cloud of dust. But on one of those specks of dust, the earth, he has fastened all his loving attention. It is the home of his favorite child, man. So much does God love the human race that he himself became a man to make us love him more. And though men can do absolutely nothing by themselves, God has given them a mighty power with everlasting consequences. They have the power to beget eternal children. Marriage ends with death, but the fruit of marriage will live forever. The eternal happiness of children depends largely upon the virtue of their parents. Father Patrick Peyton. Very largely does the wife hold in her hands, as a sacred trust, the happiness and the highest good of the hearts that nestle in the home. Her spirit gives the home its atmosphere. Her hands fashion its beauty. Her heart makes its love. And the end is so worthy, so noble, so divine, that no woman who has been called to be a wife, and has listened to the call, should consider any price too great to pay, to be the light, the joy, the blessing, the inspiration of a home. Men with fine gifts think it worthwhile to live to paint a few great pictures which shall be looked at and admired for generations, or to write a few songs which will sing themselves into the ears and hearts of men. But the woman who makes a sweet, beautiful home, filling it with love and prayer and purity, is doing something better than anything else her hands could find to do beneath the skies. And that was by J.R. Miller, 1880. Take it from me, ladies, inspiration is your love potion. Men wander through the cold world seeking the warm eyes of inspiration, like a thirsty deer standing at a fountain of water. On finding it, they leap for joy, and the very mountain breaks forth into singing. So be kind, ladies, lest men die of hunger and thirst. Give hope and encouragement to carry on. It is so easy for you. Just be as God made you, his loveliest creatures. A national magazine has adopted the slogan, "Never underestimate the power of a woman." This is especially necessary for wives. Most of them vastly underestimate their ability to inspire their husbands. Some do not even know that they possess this power. Others are but dimly aware of it. Yet the fact remains that in most marriages, the wife who inspires can lead her husband to undreamed of heights. Nip those negative and critical thoughts in the bud before they become monsters. You have probably tried the other way. Letting those destructive thoughts soak up all your brain cells. So, how does that feel? Does it make you feel good? Does it build your relationship with your husband? Do you find that your kids act better while you are steaming about their father's inadequacies? Of course not. You better put a brake on those thoughts. You have no idea what a downward spiral that can be and where it can lead to. Not worth it. Say a prayer. Thank God for little things. Get interested in something. Don't let the crazy, lousy thoughts take hold. Make the effort. God will bless you for it. This is no small thing. Those little thoughts can become huge problems. Know how to compliment. To be an inspiring husband or wife, you should learn the art of paying a compliment. As simple a comment as, "You sure have a way with pies," will bring a pleased smile to her face and pie to your plate more often. A compliment to your husband when he's well turned out. "My, isn't Daddy handsome?" will do far more than caustic comments ever will. You will find that the course of your married life will run more smoothly if you learn to say the pleasant word. Looking at the positive side is a certain antidote to one of the great blemishes on modern marriage, the urge to indulge in self-pity. Learn to spend time each day dwelling on your spouse's good qualities. As you consider them, you may realize that you have more to be thankful for in your partner than you have realized. Do we always feel like we need to be in control? That it is up to us to change things if things are going to change? This is what Father Jacques Philippe says. Often we cause ourselves to become agitated and disturbed by trying to resolve everything by ourselves, when it would be more efficacious to remain peacefully before the gaze of God and to allow Him to act and work in us with His wisdom and power. Our discussion is not, it is well understood, an invitation to laziness and inaction. It is an invitation to act, even to act considerably sometimes, but under the impulse of the Holy Spirit, which is a gentle and peaceful spirit. Our zeal, even for God, is often badly illuminated. St. Vincent de Paul, the last person anyone would ever suspect of being lazy, used to say, "The good that God does is done by God Himself, almost without our being aware of it. It is necessary that we be more inactive than active." Another day had begun in the little home of Nazareth, a quiet, cool March day. Mary would spend it as she had spent countless others, quietly working about the house. An ordinary girl, Mary, as the world judges, ordinary like the rest of the villagers, like Joseph. Suddenly an angel was by her side. "Hail, full of grace." An ordinary person would be rather disturbed by such a visitor and by such a greeting, and Mary was. She was troubled at his word. The angel had implied that Mary loved God with all her heart, soul, mind, strength, that she loved God enough to become His mother. Loving God wholeheartedly, like Mary, I was created to do just that, and being ordinary puts no barriers in my way. Father Patrick Peyton. Humility has a bad name. Many dismiss it as a perpetual hanging of the head, the coward's one claim to virtue. But humility is not that. The materialist who confesses he is only a soulless animal is not humbler than Mary of Nazareth, who knew she was a child of God. His thoughts are lowly, but he is proud. Mary's thoughts are lofty, and she is humble. That is because her thoughts are true. She knew that her goodness, her greatness, came altogether from the great God, and she acted accordingly. Humility means acting upon the truth about God and ourselves. It is the proud man who hangs his head. Otherwise, he would see God above him. Humble Mary became God's mother, the world's greatest person, something for me to meditate upon. By Father Patrick Peyton. Fine manners put into a greeting between friends is something of the poetry of motion. The lady's bow with its deep and graceful movement, and the gentleman's bow, hand on heart, made a bodily gesture of dignity and grace. The beautiful greeting of friend toward friend has disappeared everywhere except in the Catholic Church. There, the genuflection before the altar keeps something of the beautiful dignity and grace which mark the now old-fashioned bow. For, rightly made, the genuflection is extraordinarily beautiful. It is worthy of the King to whom it is made, and expresses in a single movement deep respect, readiness to serve, and adoration. Good manners require that our gesture of greeting to the King should be made with deference and with all the grace of which we are capable. We need Mary at a time when the world praises the wrong women and sneers at the right ones, when it sets cleverness above virtue, physical beauty above sinlessness, the ambitious, selfish woman above the unknown, self-sacrificing one, the advertised sinner above the unknown saint. We need Mary, we of this modern world. We need her to remind us that, though the praises of the world may sometimes go to those who laugh at Mary, the praises of God go to those who imitate her. The plaudits of the noisy pagan may go to the sinner. The purity of the world comes from the women saints. It was Mary who, from the ranks of the pagan women, drew the virgins of the early centuries. It is Mary who can save and must save the pagan world today. By Father Daniel A. Lord.